All right. Looks like we're good now. Sorry about that. When James and I switch, it changes the audio settings for some reason. All right, we're good to go now. So with that, everybody, thanks for being here today. I want to welcome you if this is your first time to the channel. Please hit the like button or subscribe. Also, I just want to say this is a nonpartisan program, so we like to make sure everybody feels welcome here and has a voice, and we're on an even playing field. All right, so we have a debate with Godless Girl, TJump, music analyst, and Smokey tonight. This is going to be a good one, much awaited, and we're going to get started with that. Now, we're going to do a 5-minute opening, starting with the positive side, music analyst, then Smokey, then Godless Girl and TJump, and then we will move straight into open discussion. It's going to be a fiery one. So, shoot your questions over to me at Converse Contender, and in the Q&A section, I will ask them to the debaters. And if you want to get your question to the top of the list, you can send a super chat, and I'll get to them first. I'll be watching the live chat. Let's go ahead into our opening statements with music analyst and Smokey.
All right. First, I want to thank you to the Godless people. Thank you for being here. And I'm with Smokey, but I want to put a disclaimer. Even though Smokey and I is on the same team or whatever you want to say it, he can't stand for what I'm going to say. So, and I don't even know what I'm going to say. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, I want to make the point. I'm going to just throw shit out there. I'm just going to throw shit out there and see what sticks. I'm only after the truth. I don't care who has it. And, even though this is a competition, it looks like, but I don't see it like that. I just want to see where the truth is, and I don't care who has it. Anyways, so I'm just going to throw shit, okay? I say there is more proof that we have been living past lives than not. Prove me wrong. You only have, that you don't remember that you have lived past lives, but that's not good enough. Anyways, also, a godless belief will lead to a degenerate society, which will lead to, no limits to immorality, and also will eventually lead to ultimate full control slavery, which is straight around the corner if you look at the Corini stuff and what they're doing with the masks and all that shit. Anyways, that's because there is no God. People not having God in their lives. Anyways, I'm going to continue. If we have more morality in society, we become more free. Less morality, more enslaved. Okay, and also I want to go to science. You guys believe in science. That's your religion, okay? I got this scientist. Maybe I can share it quickly on the screen. This scientist, a top scientist called James Gates. He says, fuck the video. He says this, that they've found computer codes in our reality, and not just any computer code, but just like real computer code that we have in this reality. So if your scientist priests admit that this is like a virtual reality, then somebody must have created it, right? Just like a program, a video game, so does a programmer for this reality. So anyways, that's the top scientist priests. Then we got the other one in CERN, Switzerland, the hydro, where they have that machine collider. They have a statue of Shiva, which is a religious statue. Why? Why would they have that when they're scientists who don't believe that? And my final thing, I don't want to be long-winded because it gets boring. My final thing, there's a substance in the vaccines that they're going to give us. You know what that substance is called? Luciferase. Yeah. Do the face palm, TJump. Do it. Anyways, they have a thing called Luciferase. Okay, look it up on Wikipedia. Luciferase is in the vaccines. Why? Why would scientists use Lucifer as a name for the substance they're going to have in the vaccines? So if you look it up on Wikipedia, it says its name is taken from Lightbringer. And if you Google Lightbringer on Wikipedia, it only refers back to Lucifer. So, I think that was it. How long was that? I don't know.
All right, thanks so much for that. We'll kick it over to Smokey Saint.
Thank you. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. All right, thank you. Ben, stop. Stop laughing. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Sincerest thanks to everyone being here for this fairly auspicious debate. It is indeed no secret that Godless Girl and TJump have been fierce rivals in the sphere of debate, and their interactions have both entertained and compelled me, as well as others, to think deeper about our own worldviews and their justifications. For that, they both have my gratitude. As for the topic of debate tonight, is there any other more frequently rehashed in our modern first world society? And why is that? Why is the decision so hard pressed on both sides, each feeling an equal sense of validated justification in what they hold to be true? Now, my opponents have both shared very different perspectives about their justifications for their beliefs or lack thereof. So I know each of them may have a different or even more dynamic take on what makes all of us tick. As for me, I will put it out there as simply as I can. I have found the Christian God claim to be the most coherent and sensible explanation for the nature of our reality. So much so that considering other options would be entertaining bets on the less probable of likely scenarios. One error I see frequently adopted by atheist opponents is along the lines of the basic Cartesian view of God. This view paints a picture of very simplistic absolute traits, as in he is all good and all powerful, and that's about it. With these two sole considerations, the deity is contradictory by nature and therefore cannot exist, as it has allowed evil, therefore cannot be good. I actually agree with this philosophical deduction from these two premises. I acknowledge it is indeed both sound and a valid objection to a general God claim of any general God who would only consist of these two absolutes. However, it is fallacious and shallow-sided in consideration of the Christian God claim, who has another important component to his immutable nature, his righteousness. This aspect of his nature is exactly the component of the Christian God claim that many atheists ignore in their criticisms. With this additional premise taken into consideration and understanding that God's own exercise of power is actually limited by components of his nature, this challenge no longer fits the Christian worldview and ends up being nothing but desperate sophistry directed to a God we don't even believe in. This is sometimes hard to wrap our minds around, as many Christians have been comfortable stating in confidence that God can do anything, not even realizing the theological and philosophical contradiction they have worked into their framework by doing this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, call me a heretic as you will, but I don't believe God can do anything. I don't believe he can lie. I don't believe he has the ability to actualize a non-truth into reality, and by the nature of speaking it, makes it true. And if it is untrue, it is not something that he can say, as it violates his nature to do so. It is truly a double impossibility, but rarely considered by even many of us believers. God cannot exercise his power against his nature, despite him being all-powerful. And this is where most atheist challenge to our claims fall apart. It is clear from the revelation of Scripture, through consistent theme, that God was required to hide himself from humanity, a modern colloquially identified term of divine hiddenness. This is many times used as a challenge to the existence of a deity that denies empirical verification for his existence. But this challenge is many times done in ignorance, as by the nature of the Christian God claim requires God to be hidden for him to not be bound by his righteousness to judge the evil in his presence. This environment of free will and grace with his passive presence among us is an act of mercy, not abandonment, giving us a precious gift of free will, wherein lies the only potentiality of the expression of true love. If it would be immoral to create a universe of slaves, and I think it would, God cannot create any beings without a free will component, and therefore is bound by his nature to create us in a certain way, if he created us at all, and that we might have actual purpose as a being capable of expressing love and choosing of free will to express it to him and take a place of honest relationship and sincere communion with the divine. I look forward to this conversation as we explore some of our own similar yet divergent perspectives. And with that, I yield.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Smokey. We will kick it over to Godless Girl and TJump. 5 minutes apiece. Opening statement. Take your time.
Okay, so I'm going to take advantage of being second in the opening statement and quickly respond to, before I give my opening statement, quickly respond to the stuff the other two faggots said. So, number one, that one guy, the music analyst, said that, because there's some consequences, like, what is it, not being free, or there being slavery or something from believing in atheism, and you're free if you believe in God, therefore God is just, what the fuck? That's just an elementary fallacy, right? You're committing an elementary error in reasoning, sir. Because of the consequences of this one belief, that belief is false and this other belief is true. I'm sorry, sir. That's an elementary fallacy. Go fucking learn philosophy 101. That's just like so. It's just so fucking. It's just so childish. Like, what the fuck? You're a music analyst. What business do you have of fucking talking about the existence of God? What a fucking clown to say such a thing as, atheism entails slavery, therefore atheism is false. You've committed an error in reasoning, sir. And then what was that shit that the Smokey said? Shit, I don't even fucking remember. But I don't even fucking remember what he said, but I'll get on to my opening statement. So, unlike my fellow atheists, probably even TJump, I actually have an argument for atheism. Like, my fellow atheists will try to redefine atheism as though, like, the lack of belief in God, so I don't have to, like, provide evidence or argument, because, like, the burden of proof is on the opposing side. Bullshit. No, I fucking actually have a fucking argument for fucking atheism. So, I define a deity. I lack belief in deities, and I define a deity as a mind that created the universe, like, resulted in the Big Bang. And I think that is fucking incoherent bullshit nonsense that I can't even, like, it's not even, like, cognitively fucking meaningful, right? Because time began at the beginning of the Big Bang. So a mind preceding time is just like gibberish. It's just gibberish, right? Something like preceding time? What the fuck? What does that even mean? So when somebody asks me, do I believe that a God exists? What the fuck? I'm sorry. I don't even understand the fucking question. It's not even fucking cognitively meaningful. Like, something preceding time? Preceding is temporal. So how can something fucking precede time? Like, what does that even mean? It's just gibberish. And nobody in this stage right here, whatever the fucking Smokey's saying, this music analyst faggot, what does that even mean? It's just gibberish. They can't even tell me what it means. So when they ask me, do I believe that? I'm sorry. I don't understand the fucking question. And if they want to go further than that, then I'll just, like, resort to, like, the evidential problem. Like, they're both Christian faggots. I'll just resort to, like, the evidential problem of evil. So, like, it's like gratuitous evil exists. Like, if the Christian God exists, we would not expect there to be gratuitous evils. We see gratuitous evils. Therefore, the conclusion, we do not expect Christian God to exist because there exist gratuitous evils. And that's my opening statement.
All right, thanks so much. TJump?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hard to follow up that with an argument. So, but Godless, could you do us all a favor and not use derogatory slang if possible? I'd like to maintain monetization if at all possible. The belief in a God is completely ridiculous. There's no evidence for it whatsoever. And in order to believe in the existence of a God, you have to reject the consensus in pretty much every academic field ever. Like neurology, that brains are physical things, not minds. That's the consensus in neurology. Cosmology, there is past eternal infinite is the problem. Natural infinite is the consensus in the explanation of the Big Bang. Biology, abiogenesis is tended to be a physical process. No non-physical minds did it. Philosophy, God doesn't work. Ethics, morality, objective morality can exist without God. Physics, there's no interactions that are non-physical. All interactions are physical, no non-physical mind. History, there's miracles can't be supported by history. There's no Moses, no Sarah, no global flood, no Tower of Babel. Genesis, the entire book is considered a myth. Physics, information does not require mind. There is no virtual level of the world. No, physicists have not come to that conclusion. Biology, information does not require mind. It's purely a natural process from a stochastic system, as in Shannon's information theory paper. Neurology, there is no libertarian free will. Psychology, people are not blameworthy. Biology, intelligent design is pseudoscience. Geology, creation science is pseudoscience. Mathematics, math is a language. It describes the universe. It doesn't predate the universe. Logic, same thing. Essentially, every academic field shows that all the arguments in religious apologetics are complete garbage, and they don't support the conclusion of a God at all, and natural explanations support everything better. They explain everything better, absolutely everything. So there is absolutely no reason to come to the conclusion of a God for anything. It's just a made-up hypothesis that's used to try and make up explanations for the data that accomplishes nothing. And so there is no evidence for God. Naturalism explains everything better. So yeah, I'll conclude with that.
All right. Thanks so much for that. Opening statements are done. Now we're going to jump to the open discussion. If you have a question, feel free to tag me at Converse Contender or send in a super chat. Kick it to the top of the list. All right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What does it mean for something to precede silence, create time?
Well, it's yeah, sure, Godless. I'll answer that. I don't think you paid attention to my opening really at all, because I did address your challenge of the Cartesian problem of evil with the view of
That's
God.
not the Cartesian problem.
It is. God is all powerful. God is all good, and therefore He's contradictory because He allows evil. That's basically.
Oh wait, but you said that God is limited by His goodness.
Right. His righteousness. His right.
Excuse me. That just means that God can He's limited by His nature. So He can only, what all powerful means there then is that He can only do everything that's in His nature to do.
Correct.
So that means that if I exist in a universe where it's only in my nature to slap my cunt, and I have the ability to slap my cunt, then by your definition, I'm all powerful.
That's really incoherent, but okay. I was more.
What part of that? Wait, I'm sorry.
I was
not understand. What part of that do you understand?
Well, you're not a deity. You don't have the ability to create a reality. You don't have anything tied or limited to your nature.
All right, one at a time. One at a time.
Are you limiting God by His nature?
Yes. I'm saying that is within the claim of the Christian God.
What does all powerful mean? The ability to do anything that's in your nature to do.
All powerful in a. Yeah.
Let me rephrase the question. So, if you're saying that God is limited by His nature and yet that is still coherent in your worldview, then anything you define His nature to be, like He could be limited to sit on His ass all day and sit in the chair and do nothing, and He'd still be all powerful by your definition.
If I was defining
wait.
His nature, but I'm not.
Wait. So if you're saying that the limitation of God's nature is some arbitrary set of principles that you've just made up and said, well, this is the way God. Wait. Hold up, Smokey.
You're straw manning me, TJump.
No, I'm not.
You're just saying things that aren't true and then continuing.
Smokey. I'm just.
We got to let TJump finish.
So this is not about your position, Smokey. So if a person claims that God is limited by His nature and you've made up some arbitrary definition of His nature, you can define His nature to be whatever you want to explain anything you want in the universe. The reason that tree is there because it's God's nature to make that tree there, or the reason that He didn't save those babies because God was it's His nature to be too lazy to save those babies. You could just make His nature up to be anything, so that isn't an explanation. So you need to go more than just say, well, God's nature is limited to prevent Him from explaining all of these things because I want Him to. That's not an argument.
Ride
my coattails, baby.
I made the claim that the claim is actually asserted through the Bible of the consistency of Him being limited by His nature. It's part of the claim. It's part of the claim inside the text of who He is. You trying to claim it anything other than that is you trying to create straw man Christianity and attack it. And that's what's going on right now. Because you're saying, well, God is all these things, and I'm arbitrary drawing the definition. I'm not. I'm drawing the definition from the revelation. I'm not just simply deciding this is the case.
That wasn't the point of the argument. So again, if you are defining God to be a certain way and saying He can't be different from that way,
I'm not defining Him.
Again,
the Bible is. His revelation is defining Him. Stop saying I'm doing it.
Smokey.
Stop saying I'm doing it.
Smokey, start understanding the point I'm making and stop, because it doesn't matter if you say it.
Well, just say it. Say it honestly. Communicate honestly.
Okay, I'm literally communicating honestly. Who says it doesn't matter. Arguments are true no matter who says them. So whether you say it or someone else says it makes no difference. So stop focusing.
You're straw manning my position to make your argument.
Has nothing to do with your position. Shut up.
Let Smokey. So hold on a second. Let's let TJump finish his point first.
Smokey, it doesn't matter who says an argument. All that matters is what the argument is saying. So when I say you say, all that matters is the argument here. Who actually says the argument? If I said it, it's still going to be incorrect or correct for the same reason. So stop focusing on who says it. It doesn't make a difference. If you are saying that, if this is your argument, that God's nature is limited in some way, and that way prevents Him from doing something, anything you want it to be, from knocking over that paper cup over there, then you can define God to be whatever you want to explain literally anything. Is God's nature to cause anything to happen or anything not to happen based on however you define His nature to be? And if you can't give an actual proof that His nature does form this independent of you saying so, or the Bible saying so in this case, then it's not evidence, it's just making shit up. It's not an explanation.
Dude,
So-
you believe in literal fairy tales. You believe in the Big Bang. You're not supposed to talk anything, you know? You believe in fairy tales. That is even more ridiculous than Christianity. If you think Christianity is ridiculous, you believe in a Big Bang. Explain that fairy tale for me. Explain.
The cosmic microwave background, we can see it's...
Yeah, fancy words. You're a words wizard. You like to go out fancy stuff and go around and spin around like your Earth model. Oh, you're a flat earther now. I know how you guys work. I know what you're gonna say before you say it. You know, it's like are you a conspiracy theory? And look at us now. We're living in the biggest conspiracy theory ever. If anybody said it 9 months ago. If anybody said, hey, in 9 months, the whole world will shut down because of a bogus virus, you would have said you're a conspiracy nut. Anyways, explain the Big Bang.
The Big Bang is leaking.
Without fancy words. Can you do it without fancy words?
I'll do my best. If I say a fancy word, let me know. I'll simplify.
No, just go direct to it. Like
I'm gonna try. So I'll do that. I'll do my best. So we see galaxies moving away from us, and the farther away the galaxies are, the faster they're moving away from us. So
we see.
Yes.
Who is we? You're not seeing it.
Anybody
right?
who uses a telescope.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got a great zoom and you see the galaxy spin. What kind of a telescope is that?
No. You don't see them spin. You see them moving farther away from us, which is based on the color of the light. Like
you get that from a little telescope on this little pea-sized Earth.
Color of the light. So yeah, if you
okay, go to the basics. Go to the basics. The Big Bang. Explain. Wait. Let's wait.
The arguments against his position.
So
you're a clown. Any of the arguments against your position.
Wait, let's let music analyst finish. Let's let him finish.
Music analyst.
Wait. You godless people, you like to spin off shit. You like to spin around stuff. Go directly to the core.
Trying to explain the Big Bang.
Yeah, you're trying really bad. Go to the core. Talk about the Big Bang and let me see how much of a fairy tale that sounds like. Let's go.
Do you believe in the Big Bang?
Me? Hell no. When I was an atheist, yes. If you're asking me.
So what do you think? You don't believe in the Big Bang, so what do you think? The universe always existed?
Wait. Do you think there was endless nothingness
What
and
do you
then
think
something?
the universe always existed? Sir, what's the alternative to the Big Bang? The universe always existed?
God has always existed, and in God's realm, there is no
Did
limit
the
to
universe always exist?
that. I don't know. I don't know that. I only know in God's realm.
Oh, you're just totally agnostic about it. You're just totally agnostic. Now you're just being dishonest, right? You had to put your money somewhere. Just roll the dice. I don't know.
That just don't work on God's
Was there
realm.
infinite, past imperial,
Godless, how do you know?
like regress of past material events? I don't know. I'm just totally agnostic about it. If I had to put my money somewhere, just roll the fucking dice. Now you're just being dishonest, right?
You promote the godless thing really good. Like that is like Satan, you know, like that behavior. That's what happens when you believe in Satan.
This is medical, sir. Do you
become
believe
miserable.
there
You
was
become
an
miserable when you don't have a God in your life.
There is an infinite regress of past material events. Yes or no?
Become miserable. What is that?
Do you believe that there was an immaterial regression? An infinite regression of material events.
What does that mean? Make it.
It means that every material event preceded another material event. Do you believe that, sir? You fucking music analyst.
Wait, no. I'm talking about the Big Bang now. I want to know how endless.
I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Yes or no?
You're not.
All right, hang on.
Godless,
Give him a second.
let him talk.
Hey, hold on. Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to mute you guys.
Godless, this is not how to win a
All right,
debate.
now let's go. I'm gonna have to mute you guys. All right, one at a time. And let me say real quick, no slurs. Okay, it'll get us demonetized. If anybody says any slurs or anything, it's gonna get us kicked off. So,
Okay, I'll just repeat my question one more
let's go
time.
right back into it. Music
Yes or no?
analyst.
Yes or no? Do you believe that every event every material event preceded a material event?
I can't say the F word. Wait.
Yes or no?
Wait. Converse. Can I say the F word, or is it? Maybe we can.
Sure, say that.
Yeah, it depends on what F. It depends on what F word, but no slurs.
Okay. Not the one Godless said. Yeah, I get that. I don't say that. Yeah. Listen, Godless. Wait. This was a question to TJump, and now you're jumping in like that. I wanted him to explain the Big Bang to me and us, everybody here.
What the fuck? He doesn't have to account for he doesn't have to account for the Big Bang.
Well,
Well,
if you know,
That's not his.
I can do
That's
that.
not his
Fine.
position.
I'm
His
happy,
position
I'm happy
doesn't
to do
require
that.
them to account for the Big Bang, faggot.
Hey, no, we can't. Godless girl, you can't use that on YouTube. You're gonna get us kicked. You're gonna get us demonetized.
Oh, sorry,
We can't use that
no
term.
F words. Okay,
Yeah.
no F words.
That is the devil, Godless, in you. The devil is inside of you. That's
Yeah,
why.
it's saying making me call you that, sir. Do you
Listen,
believe
when
that every material event preceded a material event? Yes or
When I
no?
first saw you, I was like, shit, this woman is miserable. And then I saw your name. I'm like, oh,
This
that's
is
why.
meta. This is meta.
Godless
Sure.
makes you
Sir,
miserable.
did every music analyst, did every material event precede a material event? Yes or no?
I don't think he knows what that means.
Yes or no?
I don't think he knows what that means. I don't think.
Yeah, and my English is not my native
You
language.
understand
I
what a
haven't
material
been
event
English
is?
2.5 years, so don't go fancy on me, Godless.
Let me try to clear it up. Music analyst, she's asking you if there's any way for basically the beginning of the universe, then there's something before the beginning of the universe, then there's something before the beginning of the universe, and all the way back. She's asking you if you believe in that type of infinite regression. That's what she's asking.
Yeah, I don't know. This place might have always existed, or God created it whenever God created it. I don't know about that. I only believe that there is an entity that lives outside of time, has no limit to time. We only have limit, a beginning and an end in this reality, and we try to apply that to the creator. It's ridiculous. You can't do it. The creator is way beyond us. Way. You can never understand the creator. Nobody can. We can have clues, like, oh, there might be a creator, but we won't fully know until it's time. That's what I believe. But I want to know the Big Bang. Explain that without going swirling around with fancy wizard words and stuff.
Okay. Okay, we see galaxies moving away from us. You can tell because the light is more red. It's, if you like, it's a wavelength, kind of like sound. And so if you're passing by a car, you hear it's a higher pitch when it's coming towards you and a lower pitch when it's going away from you. We see the same thing in light. So we can see the galaxies are moving away from us, just like a car when it goes past you. And so we can just use math and say, well, if it's going away from us at this rate, we can wind the clock back and say, well, where was it at this point? And there was all collapse on a single point. So we know there was a big clump of matter, and then it started to expand. That's the Big Bang. Doesn't say that there could be natural stuff before the Big Bang, like the multiverse. The Big Bang wasn't the beginning of everything. That wasn't the point.
So there was not first nothingness and then something came.
Right. No one in physics thinks that before the Big Bang there was nothingness.
So what do they think? There was another reality there, another materialistic.
Yes, like the multiverse or string theory or the collapsing universe or many different models. It's all just more natural stuff prior to the Big Bang. No one thinks there was a literal nothing before the Big Bang.
That's not what I've heard of the Big Bang. They say there was nothing and then something came.
That's what the theists say. That's not what the physicists say. The theists misrepresent the physics because they don't like it, but the physics just says it's just more natural stuff.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe we only live once?
Yes.
Once only. Why? Why do you believe that?
Because I have no evidence for there being multiple lives.
Well, do you have evidence on the contrary?
Well, I can know I'm alive now, so that's at least once.
Okay, but why do you choose to believe I only live once? Because let me say this. Do you remember what you did 2 Thursdays ago? Exactly.
I don't even know what day it is today.
Exactly. So how the fuck would you remember? Oh, how the hell would you remember past lives?
It's like I can see that I have 1 cup, so I have a reason to believe I have 1 cup, but I don't have a reason to believe I have more cups. So
still, you don't remember 2 Thursdays.
I don't know everything in the house here, so there could be more cups in the house, but I know I have 1 cup. I have good reason to have 1 cup, but I do not have good reason to believe I have multiple cups. So evidence for 1 cup, not evidence for multiple cups. That's why I think there's 1 cup, but not multiple cups.
Still doesn't explain that you could have forgotten a lot of past lives.
I agree.
It didn't happen.
I agree. You're right. I could have lived lots of past lives. I could have lived a past life as a cow or as a god or as a female.
Doing exactly this.
But we don't have any evidence for that. Like I could have been a leprechaun, or I could have been 10 different people at once. There's infinitely many things I could have been. But
you believe that
Wait. So because there's infinitely many things that could have been, and one of them is that I didn't exist prior to this, and this is my only life. That's a possibility too. We need a way to differentiate which one of these is imaginary and which one of them is real. And so we say, well, which one has evidence? Well, we know the one I have right now has evidence. We don't have any evidence for the other things. They're possible. It's possible I had previous lives, and it's possible I didn't. But right now, the only evidence we have is that I have one life.
Yeah, but what is real? When you're in a dream, you think that is real until you wake up and see that was a dream. So maybe it's the same with this. You think this is real, and when you die from here, you wake up somewhere else, and you're like seeing this as a dream. Anyways,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's definitely possible, but if you have no evidence, we shouldn't believe it.
So you believe when you die, what happens to you when you die? I want to hear what you think. When you die,
The same thing is what happened before you were born, just nothingness.
So nothingness. So wait. Why did it even have to be so that you so that you got born? Why wouldn't you stay in the endless nothingness in the first place and never got born? Why did you have to get born and then return back to the same endless nothingness? Because if you say that you return back to the endless nothingness, then it never was endless in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you weren't in the nothingness. It's not like you existed in the nothingness and then you got transferred to the somethingness. That's not how it works. You are just a product of an emergent property in your brain, and so that emergent property in your brain came about because of the physical interactions in your brain, which didn't happen.
It came from nothing, right? Everything, your brain and reality came from nothing.
No one says that. Remember, natural stuff exists forever. There's no ultimate beginning. The emergent property came from. How do you know that? That's just the best evidence we have. Is that what?
That's just guesses. Listen.
That's evidence. So again, the way emergent properties work, like for example, this cup didn't always exist. This cup was created by a manufacturer, Stanley, and before the Stanley Cup was created, it didn't exist. There wasn't the previous cup there. It was just this one cup. And when this cup gets destroyed, it's never going to re-exist. It's going to be gone forever. People are the same. They're just
like in different material. Like you can never destroy material. Apparently, you can't destroy it. Anyways, wait. Let's not go to the cup. I want to ask you: when you die, do you end up in endless nothingness? Right? You say that.
No. There's.
Where do you end up then? Where do you end up?
Nothingness isn't a thing you can be in. Nothingness is a lack of something.
What happens to you?
You stop existing.
You guys, some people are asking, how is this related to the "Does God Exist" topic? Maybe you could give us that one.
It is related. Wait.
That's in the Large Hadron Collider.
You die now, and you end up in. You stop existing. You say.
Yes.
What is stop existing? Okay, let's look at that. What is stop existing? Wouldn't you have to be conscious to realize that you've stopped existing?
Yes, when you stop existing, you don't realize it. So you're not going to realize when you stop existing. You're just going to stop existing.
Yeah, but then you can't know if you stopped existing because you're not there to verify.
You're not going to know. You're right. You're not going to know when you stop existing. You're just going to stop existing.
Therefore, it speaks more to that we've always been endless souls, having reincarnations or whatever we've done.
No.
Yes, this speaks more.
I think Vince might be trying to draw the conclusion of TJump. How do you know we're not God?
I have no idea how you got to that, but no, the fact that we don't know when we stop existing isn't evidence that we do not stop existing. That's not how knowledge works.
It speaks more for that we have been, endless souls.
What do you mean it speaks more for? It doesn't speak more to anything.
More for that than not.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? It doesn't speak more to anything.
It doesn't make sense that first there's nothing, then you came, and then you go back. First you didn't exist, then you existed, then you go back. Only for once. Who keeps track of that? Like, yes, TJump, only one, and Godless, only one time, and Smokey and me and Coppers and everybody else, one time.
One cup gets destroyed, no more cup. The cup isn't going to be reincarnated. Same thing.
Scientist priests, you know what they say? Everything we see is just signals. Like when you're not even looking at your cup, like if your cup is behind you, it's not decoded yet. So
scientists do not say that.
They do.
No, they do not.
They do. They say. I have to show you that.
So my expertise is the consensus of physicists, and they say no, it is not informational. It's not a collapsing information thing. No, that is not how it works.
Really, this guy James Gates, look him up.
I know who you're talking about. There are many crazy people. There are many crazy people out there.
He was the top scientist of Obama. What do you call it? Yeah.
So no. The consensus in the experts is that no, we are not in a simulation. That is not how it works. It's not a random collapsing thing.
Okay. Have you tried VR headsets? Have you tried them?
Yes.
Okay. So when you try them, like the real ones, not the cell phone ones, you know, the smartphone
Yes, the one
ones.
you put on your head and you play on a console.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
I know
there's
what
a
you're
high-end one and there's a like fucking phone version. High-end ones, even though the graphics sucks, they still have captured the way your eyes or your brain is decoding visuals. Like your body, your mind thinks you're in that VR headset when you put it on, right? If you've tried it, you know what I mean.
Yes, they put the image on your head, and so when you move your head, the image moves with you, and it makes it look like it's your eyes. Yes.
Yes, it does it so well. Your brain actually thinks you're there, even though the graphics sucks. It doesn't matter. The feeling of just being there, your mind is convinced that you're there. Hence why you get those, you get nauseous.
Vertigo, yes. So
Yeah. So wait, and there's a point with this. There's a big point with this. Let's say they covered everything. They made the graphics look exactly like this, which will be possible probably, and they somehow connected your fucking brain into that fucking VR thing. Okay,
like the Matrix.
Yes, exactly like the Matrix. How the fuck would you know that you were in it? If they made all the senses, connected all the senses into that, and the graphics is just as this reality, no flaws, because one of the things in this reality is that we don't see any flaws. When we don't see any flaws, we think it's real. So when they have no flaws in the VR headsets of the future and connect your brain to it, and don't you say they can't do it, because Elon Musk has a thing called Neuralink.
We will be able to do it in the future, and the way we know is because it's fallibilism. We don't have any evidence to support it. We do have evidence to support naturalism. That's how we know.
Wait, hold on. Right now they can connect your brain into a chip. Right now, Elon Musk has it right now. This year.
They can't do it right now, but they will.
Yes, they can. He has it this year, dude. I can show you a press conference when he talks about the operation.
I'm the expert on this. They cannot do that.
No, you're not the expert.
He's the expert.
I'm the expert.
He likes to think that.
No, any type of chip you try to plant in the brain will develop scar tissue, and it'll lose connection very quickly. You cannot do that yet. We do not have the technology to do that
He
yet.
just showed how you do it. They open up your skull.
Well, TJump, give it to us that it'll happen soon. Let's entertain the argument that it will happen soon.
Even though it's here, right?
Okay, let's entertain it for the sake of the argument.
Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, okay.
What's your point?
The point is this. You say this, it can't be possible that this is like a virtual reality. Well, there's a lot of clues.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it can't be possible. Anything could be possible. We just don't have any evidence to support it, so we shouldn't.
Okay, you always have to see it, right? You always have to see it. So you won't believe in God until you see God, but that won't happen.
No, I never said that either. So I said there's no evidence for it, and so we shouldn't jump to that conclusion. Like
but what is evidence when you see? Huh?
Did you give me evidence yet?
What do you say?
Sorry, I just got back.
Have you presented the evidence yet?
Were you not even here? Oh, great.
Yeah, let's hear from Godless Girl and Smokey.
Wait, did anybody answer my question? Did God create the universe before time existed?
Yeah, that's yes, Godless, because he is timeless. He is not made
That's
of all
gibberish.
time.
That's gibberish. I don't understand what that means. That's not cognitively meaningful to me. Can you explain what it means?
Yes, he's timeless. He consists of no time or no space and no
So
matter.
I take before to be temporal.
He exists as something that our three-dimensional reality does not exist as, which is why you're having a hard time.
So I take before to be temporal. So I don't know what something can be
Non-temporal
and timeless at the same time.
To be non-temporal, to be eternal, to be never.
Contradiction.
It's like the idea of the cosmos.
Temporal and timeless is a contradiction. So I don't understand the claim. I'm sorry. Is that meaningful to me?
What do you believe?
I'm confused.
What do you believe is beyond the universe?
Yeah, what I believe? How is what I believe relevant to the claim that something
because I'm expecting if you're criticizing,
it's timeless and it's temporal, but you believe acts, therefore it's coherent.
If you're criticizing the coherency of my claim, I would expect you to be able to have something either more or equally coherent in order to contend with it.
No, I don't have to offer anything. I don't have to offer an account for anything. If
you're just saying
is gibberish. Then your claim is gibberish. Whether I can account for anything.
One at a time, guys.
Whether I'm even a fucking sentient being. Your claim is gibberish. If your claim is gibberish, your claim is gibberish. Whether I'm even sentient or not.
Guys, one at a time.
It's timeless and temporal at the same time. It's timeless and it's temporal. What the fuck? This is contradiction, sir. You're
not.
contradicting
It's not at all.
yourself, sir. I don't understand the point.
Listen,
All right, let's hear from
I'm sorry.
Smokey Saint. Let's let him answer.
It's not cognitively meaningful to me. Can
Well,
you please explain
maybe-
what I
maybe-
mean?
God's
It's
girl.
timeless and temporal.
Give it a break.
It's timeless and it's temporal. What the fuck?
Take a break. All
What?
right, let's hear from Smokey. Let's let him answer or respond to that real quick.
Godless.
Is that your claim? It's timeless and it's temporal. Is that your claim?
Let's give him a second to. Let's give him a minute to respond.
I can't seem to start talking without her starting talking. Godless, maybe, just maybe, part of your inability to understand what I'm saying has to do with you getting baked out of your ever-loving mind before you come into a debate to compete at wits. Maybe that has something to do with it. So I'm trying to make it very, very clear. I'm saying that the nature of the claim is that God is timeless, which means he has no beginning.
Is before temporal.
Yes.
Is before
Okay.
temporal.
Godless, do you believe time had a beginning?
Yes.
So there was a time when there was no time.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
before time.
Exactly.
Before, I think before to be temporal. So something that's temporal cannot be timeless, right? A timeless temporal.
Exactly, that's my
Timeless and
point.
temporal.
It's
Excuse me, sir. I'm not
non-temporal.
finished. Excuse me. I didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me. Timeless and temporal. Timeless and temporal is a contradiction. You're saying that God existed before time. So God is both temporal, but
No.
yet you said God is timeless.
Let me rephrase Smokey's argument. Let me
It's
All right.
gibberish.
let me
Does anyone
rephrase.
Let's let him answer.
understand?
Wow.
It's supposed to be timeless and temporal at the same time? It's gibberish.
I
It's
can't
not-
believe I was expecting
All right.
to teach
All right.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand the fucking question. Can something be timeless?
That sounds like a you problem.
What? It's just gibberish.
This sounds like
All right,
a
Godless
you
girl.
problem.
Let's let him answer. Let's give him a second.
Smokey, let
Go ahead.
me see if I can steel man Smokey's argument here.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Smokey is he's asking if time had a beginning, then time is in time, so there must be a beginning point of time. And how did that beginning point of time happen if there wasn't something prior to it?
That's pretty close. That's pretty close. I'll take it. Feedback. I'm getting some
Yeah, echo.
reverb here. Echo, yeah.
Sorry, I'll mute. It's me.
Okay, so but anyway, TJump, if I don't know if she's going to respond to that. I don't know if she's even really going to hear what's going on right now. Let me just ask you a quick question because I was curious. You did say something in your opening I thought was worth kind of addressing.
Go for it.
The Tower of Babel story, the flood story. You don't accept those as historical narratives of any regard, or do you accept them as maybe like loosely interpreted historical narratives?
I'm just going with the consensus that they just didn't happen.
Well, whose consensus is that?
The academic consensus of historians in every field around the world.
Oh, they say that's not history, is the claim of academic consensus.
Yeah, it's I forget, mythological, apocryphal. I forget the exact word they use, but yeah, the entire story, the entire book of Genesis is a foundational myth of the Jewish belief system.
So even though there's another, culture that didn't interact with the Jews and was separated by thousands of miles, but has similar corroborating stories of the flood and the Tower of Babel, therefore by academic scholarship standards would concrete it as two corroborating accounts from different cultures at different times that match in similarity. Would that not be a verification of it being more of a historical story?
No,
Is that
every
how
historian already
historical
knows of
scholarship
that.
works?
No, every historian already knows of those multiple things, and they don't corroborate anything. They're just people build towers as a thing, and so they think, hey, well, maybe we'll build the biggest tower. That's a kind of a human thing to take an idea and escalate it to its maximum. And flood stories also happen all over the world. They predate Noah, actually, and they predate the flood.
Well, that's to my point. That's to my point, is that the fact that there's these corroborating stories, even if they do.
No, my point is they're not corroborating. There's lots of people in lots of different cultures come up with the same stories all the time. They're not corroborating stories. They're just people come up with the same kinds of stories. There's many.
Do you have another example of that, like a cultural zeitgeist like that, other than that in the ancient world, like around the tower, the flood,
thousands
Tower
of
Babel?
them. There are literally thousands of them. Like
Well, do you have an
Hercules
example?
stories, Zeus stories, the dying and rising God stories, Savior stories.
Well, those are unique characters to cultures. Those
No,
are
No. I'm talking about the genre, those kinds of people. Like
Well, I'm not
Hercules
talking
is a
about
character.
genres.
No.
I'm
You
talking
asked
about
for
very specific
zeitgeist.
historical
You
events.
asked for a zeitgeist. A zeitgeist is a genre, though. Those are the same. Those are synonyms. So any type of general character, like a super strong guy like Hercules, is going to be a trope that is seen in multiple cultures throughout multiple times. That is not evidence. That is not corroborating evidence Hercules existed. That's evidence that people make up stories with the same kind of idea of taking a trait of humanity or something like building a tower or people's strength, and then escalating it and then applying that escalation to a character. These are not in any way corroborating, which is why the consensus think none of that's evidence.
So at what point, I'll let you go real quick, music analyst. I just have one more question.
yeah.
So at what point do we start doubting our history in terms of saying we can't possibly know, it's too far back, those people weren't recording correctly? At what point can we draw the line and say this is true history and this is not true history?
Archaeological evidence where it can actually support the claims being made, where it has independent sources that are not of the same like people group, the same like it's not people who are outside of the ideology.
So it's not liable to be believed until there's archaeological support for it.
Depends on the claim, but for the most part, like if they said they saw a dog in Genesis, then that would probably be fine. But,
well, yeah, but I'm talking about, I mean, you had said that like Moses, Abraham, all these people didn't even exist. And the only way we would know they existed was through historical documentation. So aside from historical documentation, I don't know how, basically, I think you could just draw a blanket dismissal of any, ancient character you don't like.
No.
Is
So if
kind
the
of what it
claims are
seems.
mundane, like there was a guy named Caesar who did stuff, that would be fine. But the claims of the story made that there was a global flood, which is physically impossible, that there were, I forget how many Jews, but it was the number of Jews required for the story to be true would be equivalent to the entire population of Egypt. So that's not possible.
You're talking about it from the perspective.
No. I'm clarifying that the reason we know it's not true, the reason historians say it's not true, is because all the claims made in the thing are completely fabricated nonsense. They do not comport with reality.
Let me ask you something.
They're not true.
Let me ask you
Tower of
something.
Babel does not comport with reality.
Well, I don't know how you could even possibly claim that, but let me like for the sake of the flood, like for the sake of simply denying the existence of the flood, like if you seem to be denying it based upon the idea that Noah would have had knowledge that the entire earth was covered, as opposed to Noah only able to state that he saw what he was able to see was covered, which to him was all the world. So if you're interpreting, unless you're interpreting it from a supernatural, let me finish. Unless you're interpreting it from a supernatural perspective, that Noah was given supernatural knowledge of a view of the entire earth being flooded, then you can only take it from a historical naturalistic perspective that Noah was describing exactly what he sees, which means he would have been describing a local flood. So why would you have...
That has nothing to do with the position in history at all. Like the position in history is that
That's the position of history.
No, the position of history is that all of the facts in Noah's story are complete nonsense. The size of the ark is nonsense. Noah's story is nonsense.
Well, that's debated.
There's no debate here.
It is debated. Yeah, it is. In fact, even the proportions of the ark are...
Smokey, wait. You can make up your own position if you want.
Okay, we're going up on an hour now. Can we go to Q&A?
Almost.
Jump in there quickly.
Let's let music... Let's let TJump finish. Let TJump finish and music analysts can jump in.
No, you can make up whatever interpretation you want and claim it's debated. The consensus is not debated. The consensus is...
I don't care about consensus. You're the only one that cares about consensus.
I know you don't care, but I care about the evidence. So the experts...
No, you care about consensus. Consensus isn't evidence.
Stop, Smokey. So the consensus of experts all say the
I don't care about consensus.
I don't care. Claims in those...
I'm going to play your game. I don't care about consensus.
Good.
I don't care.
You don't have to. So
I don't care. So your argument doesn't mean anything to me because I don't care about consensus.
Let's let TJump finish, and then we'll go to music analysts, and then we'll wrap it up and get to Q&A.
The consensus of experts is that all of those claims of Noah's story are complete bullshit. They don't comport with physics or nature or geology or anything remotely close to reality. So we know it's just completely made up, which is the expert consensus of all the people who understand the field. If you want to deny the consensus, like, go for it, but you just deny, like, doctors know how to do heart disease, heart surgery, or engineers how to build planes, like, you're just denying reality. Go for it.
Well, it's just you judge. I think you judge a little too much on consensus. And by the way, TJump, I think that statement that you know what the consensus is frankly, I think probably potentially disingenuous. The fact that you've actually probably potentially levied the interactions, discussions, debates, and points of every single expert in the field in order to judge that this is the consensus, I find to be a very bold statement on your part. But okay, I'll yield and pass it over to music analysts.
Well, just to clarify that accusation,
sure, go ahead.
We literally have the polls articles of people who have done this, who have posted the sources on academic journals showing this the case, which is how I know.
Okay, that proves
We
true.
have.
Got it. Okay, go ahead, music analyst.
I love how you say we. You're not in the we. You know that. You're not.
Doing the same thing.
You're
Doing
not
the same
the
thing
we.
he is. Like the
Don't talk
language, the
to
we
me.
or you, those are generic terms to mean a class of people. It
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily mean you.
That team, like we
Not
have
how
done it.
language works.
Listen, I just wanted to say this. This is useless. This is time waste. You know, you will never believe anything in the Bible, so it's like useless. What I wanted to talk about is things we can point at in real time right now. So go back to that thing with the virtual reality thing. Do you think it's a possibility that this reality is programmed by somebody? Yes or no? What do you think?
Anything could be magically possible.
Anything, yeah, but what do you think? Like even your
Anything
scientists,
could be magically possible. Like,
even your scientist priests are talking about it. They're
no,
saying
they're not.
they are.
No.
I have it. If you, I have it right
I
on here.
know exactly what the position is. They are not saying that.
They are. They are too. They are too.
I know what the position is.
Listen. So you don't think that this could be a simulation?
It's possible, but no one cares. Possibility isn't evidence.
No one cares. Everybody should care.
Possibility isn't evidence. It's possible I have $1 billion in my bank account. Does that mean I have $1 billion? No.
You say it's not so. Your scientists say so. So okay, I'll take.
No, they don't.
I'll take their words over you, TJump. Okay, so they say so.
They don't. That's
Yes,
why
they
I
do.
gave
I
the
have it
consensus.
right here on YouTube. I have a 3-minute clip where he says it.
Oh, goody.
Okay.
I have
Yes,
published journals that actually show it's not.
They know much more than you. They're like
Yes,
scientists.
I have the academic journals that show exactly what they say in the field that say they do not support
I
this.
have video and audio right here. I can play it right now.
Okay, where's the Q&A?
Wait. Hold on. There's a point here. Hold on. So
All right,
if
after
they-
this, we will go to the Q&A after this.
point. There's a point. He keeps talking for 12 minutes. I can't even talk for 3 minutes.
Go right ahead.
Let me just say.
Calm down, music analyst.
Yeah, I have to hurry up. We're wasting time here. So even they think this is a simulation. So there must be somebody coding this reality. This shit ain't random, dude. A video game without a coder, nothing shows up on the screen. Nothing's just a bunch of noise. Do you agree on that, TJump? Do you agree?
What? I have no idea what you're saying.
When a video game programmer, do they have to program a certain code for a
No,
certain
there could be
thing?
a bunch of random codes. No, there could be an infinite amount of random
You
codes.
know about
That
that.
makes sense.
Go back to- go back.
No,
Wait,
I don't
wait.
agree to that.
Go
No,
back
I
to
don't.
Godless. If you have a bunch of stuff, if you just throw them, does it create a computer? If you just throw out some
If you
random,
throw an infinite amount of like algorithms, just some of the algorithms create a computer. Yeah.
there needs to be an intelligent. There needs to be an intelligent thought behind it.
You're a retard.
You are a retard. Anyways, a programmer for a video game, they need to have a program code. If they can't just throw random code into the computer,
You're begging the question.
you don't know shit
You're
about
begging
this.
the
You don't
question.
know about this.
All right.
So
All right.
my
Finish
point
your point.
My point is,
It's Q&A now. He's a fucking music analyst.
Let's let him finish his point, and then we'll get to the Q&A.
Computers say code. What's your point?
my point is this: if a video game needs a programmer, then so fucking does this reality, and that programmer is God.
Video game doesn't need a programmer.
That programmer is God. Listen, Godless, you have a
It's infinite number of algorithms. Some of those algorithms are gonna create a fucking video game, retard.
You don't know shit, okay?
All right.
So there needs to be a program.
That's
so
assertion.
That's God.
All
Okay.
right. Thanks so much for that. Awesome. Hey, listen,
you.
I want to give everybody 1 minute or 30 seconds to a minute to just kind of tie together some of the threads, give your conclusion. What do you think? And let's just try and keep it brief because we got a lot of questions. So let's start with you, Godless Girl. What do you give the conclusion?
I'll go first. So I was gone for like half of it because I was going to the gas station to buy alcohol. But I didn't answer my question. How it makes any sense, how it's even cognitively meaningful for something to fucking be temporal and timeless at the same time. Like God existed before time, but he created time. God existed before time, but he created time. What the fuck? What does that even mean? It's just gibberish, right? It's not, when somebody asks me, God exists? I'm sorry. Like I said in the very opening statement, I don't understand the question because it's not cognitively meaningful. It's just gibberish. And no, neither Smokey Saint nor the fucking music analyst cleared that up for me. So like I stand, it's not cognitively meaningful. I don't fucking understand the question.
All right. Thanks so much for that. TJump? kick it
I'll
over to
yield my
you.
turn to Godless Girl because I want more screeching.
Okay.
Okay, continue, God. Continue. You got the chance to continue.
I think Godless Girl's finished with that. Let's go kick it over to music analyst unless TJump wants to say something else. Just a
you're
quick conclusion real quick.
Yes, I'm just saying, listen, both of you need to find God quickly because this is, if you look outside, the demons are everywhere. The elites of this world are showing that they believe in the devil. I don't give a fuck if you don't believe it. They do. And they are the ones running this world. And the devil is the master deceiver. So how the fuck do you guys know that you haven't been deceived up your, you know what? How do you know? It's the master deceiver. And you just have that smirk, that smug face, TJump. But, that face might change quickly if it turns out to be true that the devil and shit exists. And you just discard it because you're so intellectually elitist with your fancy wizard words and fancy stuff. You know what I'm saying? You just think you know everything because the scientist priest told you, right? You're religious. You're more religious than any religious people you're talking about. You don't even know it. You're blind, dude. You're blind. I'm done.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Smokey. Conclusion?
My conclusion is this debate was everything I hoped it would be. I yield.
All right. Thanks so much for that. We are going to go to the Q&A. So, thanks so much for all the questions. We're going to go to the Q&A now, and we had a lot of super chats, so I'm going to get to all those first, and then we'll get to the questions. If you have a question, I'll try and get to it if you want to post it. And so let's go ahead with that. All right. Our first question comes from Woody. Actually, it's not a question. It's just like a dap. Awesome job. Thanks, Woody, for your £2. Second, we have Sunflower, $5. Says, of all demographics, female atheists appear to be the most unhappy, angry, and misguided. Sunflower, August 12th, 2020.
He knows it's true.
I didn't know if anyone want to respond to that, or we'll just move on to the next question.
Well, I don't see how that's relevant to whether or not God exists.
All right, thanks so much. We have $2 super chat from Thaddeus Kos. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Says slurs are not allowed now. James, get a handle on this. Or I'm sorry, slurs are allowed now. So we got that taken care of, no problem. We have a super chat, 10 CAs from Labzor. Thanks so much. Says to Godless Girl, do you distinguish the concept of time with time in physics? If so, what is the concept of time and why is it necessary? If not, then what brought time physics into place?
What the fuck? No, I don't understand this question. I take time to be a relationship between cause and effect. Whether it's whether you define it as physics or not, it's the relationship between cause and effect. So what the fuck? No, sorry, I don't understand the question. Does God exist? I don't understand the fucking question. Is there existence between time and physical time? What the fuck? It's just gibberish.
All right, thanks so much for that. We'll get to our next question here. Looks like our next question comes from Stupid Horror Energy. Sarah asks, thanks for your $5. Says, Smokey, Google McEar omnipotence. That's what they're trying to explain.
That makes it a little more clear for me. Thank you, Stupid Whore Energy. And in a roundabout way, philosophically, that is actually kind of what I'm talking about. Is that
the McEar thing was the my slap my front thing.
The ability of any sentient being to only abide by their nature, therefore making them omnipotent in their nature. I can understand the point, but then it still doesn't answer the issue of the change of the spectrum of divinity and, of course, humanity. So, but I get it. Thank you for that, Stupid Whore Energy.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for that. We have our next question comes from Leo Phileas. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Says, how do you explain cosmic microwave background if the universe didn't originate in a very hot and very dense state?
That's got to be for music analysts.
Yeah, I think so.
Listen, how
One of
how
those
the hell-
magic wizard words. Those magic wizard words.
Wizard words, I love that.
wizard words? Yeah. How the hell do we know that that's even true? You know what evidence do we have? That we have to trust that that's true. Microwaves and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. We have to just have faith. You know, faith. Have to have faith that is true.
All right, thanks so
Yeah?
much for that. We'll kick it over to the
Like
next
religion,
question.
right? You make fun of people having faith in religion. Yes, you have faith in that. Okay. Yes.
All right, thanks so much. Trio Monkey 666 for $5 says the word wizard just brought a blizzard on these lizards. Little poetic little
Who's the lizard?
super chat there. All right,
Are
Bishop
the Godless
Martin.
lizard?
Sorry,
Sorry, no, go ahead.
no problem. Bishop Martin for $2 says, "Hey guys, I'm 16, I'm goth, and I have a six-pack. Congratulations." The next super chat's also from Bishop Martin. Says, "Friendly reminder of the episode of Avatar where Iroh cries about his son who has passed and sings for him." Thanks so much for that. $5 super chat from Phaeton, Phayon. Says, TJump won by not talking. Everyone else lost respect for the calm, collected, and respectful speech of the only one who came to actually debate.
Oh, don't worry. There are no victors in this debate. I do not know.
TJump was talking the entire half an hour.
That's pessimistic. We all won.
Talking the entire hour.
Everybody's a winner today. Yeah, everybody's a winner today. All right, so next super chat comes from Alex Gross for $5. Says, Tom, you better make sure any traces of your involvement in this absolute circus disappear when you take your righteous throne in the Oval Office.
Oh, God.
Listen, what's a circus about it? We ask questions and you can't prove, your stance. You can't prove that there is no God. You just believe that there is no God because you don't see a God.
No, I can prove it, but I just need to use my wizard magic word. You can understand the wizard language. I don't know. I can't help you there. You gotta learn the wizard language.
You confuse people with your fancy words and then spin around to another galaxy. Spin. Continue. Spin.
All right, thanks so much for that. We'll move on to our next question. Again, $5 from Alex Gross says Donald Trump is going to make 10-piece nuggets and large fries $6.50 instead of $5.79. Music, I'd love to hear your opinion on quasi-quantum micro-stoicism.
Fancy wizard words. Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. The only thing I can add, Trump is the fucking man. That's the thing I can add. If it isn't for Trump, we're fucked. Okay, yeah.
All right,
Trump
thanks so much for that.
It's the only way. If Trump doesn't win, China takes over the U.S. and then it's all over. Okay.
All right. Maynard Saves, a familiar to the channel, $2 super chat, thanks, says, is Jesus God? There no temporal?
Jesus is God. He is the second person of the divinity of the godhood, and he took flesh. So his flesh was created. He himself in his nature was not.
All right. Thanks so much for that. Move on to our next $10 super chat from Leo Filius. Says, for
Yes, you are
Smokey.
saying that correctly, by the way.
Leo Filius, thanks. For Smokey, how does something exist yet doesn't exist anywhere, spaceless, doesn't exist anywhen, timeless, and is made of nothing, immaterial?
Yeah, we addressed that partially in our talk on our stream, Leophilius. It's by your nature of what you deem to actually exist only being that which is material. Once you stretch your mind beyond that to realize things can exist of a non-material state, it's not that difficult.
All right, thanks so much for that. $5 super chat from Experiments in Prebiotic Chemistry says, why would God create beings who are not capable of understanding him? Also, divine hiddenness. What about pink unicorn hiddenness? Props to TJump. You got a fan out there, TJump?
Thanks.
What do you other guys say?
One Yeah, one more time with the question, a converse, I'm sorry.
Sure. Why we gotta create beings who are not capable of understanding him? Also, divine hiddenness? What about pink unicorn hiddenness?
It's more about it's more about God creating beings with a willingness to want to discover him. He in his decision, he's able to choose any type of creation he wants to create, and creating a creation with a free will dynamic where he's also protecting his righteousness means there has to be a certain type of creation that's manifested, and that's kind of what we see before us. And as for pink unicorn hiddenness, there's nothing inside the nature of a pink unicorn to say that therefore has to be hidden from the people. There is something inside the Christian God claim that says that. So it's an incoherent equivocation.
Awesome.
And we're not
Thanks for
supposed to
that.
understand God. Anyway.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Our next question is from Royce DeGaulle, Steven's brother. Says for $2 says, Tom, does your back hurt yet?
From carrying this debate, oh yeah, burn.
Burn. All right.
At some point you should feature your chair, Tom. I think your chair should have its own episode at some point.
Actually, we just got a super chat in from Tom Jump's chair, but I'll save it because it just came in. All right. I actually have a chair sitting right over there that's almost just like Tom's. It's a little different, but it's the same brand and everything. All right. Next question from Bishop Martin for Godless Girl. What car do you drive? You're on mute.
Why did you have to tell her?
I was telling her to unmute. I just got a huge inheritance, which is evidence that I fucking, from the age of 20 to 30, I didn't work a job, and I just got this huge ass inheritance. There's over $100,000 in my bank account when I didn't fucking do shit to earn it, except like be born into a certain family. So I just got this huge ass inheritance, and I think I got a really good deal. I bought a 2015 Toyota Corolla for $11,000 from a dealership. It's white.
Nice.
That's the car I drive.
That's good.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, great.
And I think that's evidence. The fact that I got that inheritance and was able to buy that car outright when I fucking did nothing but sit on the internet, like fucking bullying people for 20 years, is evidence against like the Christian God existing.
God doesn't punish people for stuff like that. Godless. He's morally passive in our environment. In reality, he's not going to punish you dynamically and perfectly for your actions. You'll face that someday.
And look on the bright side. Now you can afford TJump.
That's true. That's true.
Oh yeah, before we went live, I offered TJump $10,000 Patreon to be my boyfriend, and he declined.
That's true.
I think I could help advance his career though.
Yes.
He wants like crowdsource funding. I'll get to crowdsource funding, babe.
Yeah,
your Discord's gonna be wild tonight, girl.
So for those who don't know, before we went live, Godless Girl did in fact offer TJump $10,000 to be her boyfriend. He did decline. So our next super chat is from Sunflower for $2. To any woman watching, Godless Girl is your brain on atheism. Any responders? All right, we'll move on to our next question from Matt Powell's gay pet pterodactyl. Says for $5, an idiot, a addict, and a indoctrinated fool walk into a bar. There sat TJump face palming. Thanks so much for that. Anybody have any anything to say? Any response or? All right, we'll move on to the next question. Yeah.
To that question.
I think Godless left.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it happened.
I think it is.
I see.
I think that happened.
All right. I see. It kind of messed up our background. All right.
You know what? TJump seriously deserves some extra kudos for this evening in some regards. Like seriously, TJump, well played, sir. You know what?
Thank you.
Kudos.
All right. Let me see if I can't get this background fixed up.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just keep going with super.
Yeah,
All right.
let's just run through them. Let's just run through them. Let's get them done. Let's knock them out.
All right. So for the next one, Maynard says $5 says, what's wrong with getting baked out of your ever-loving mind and your partner exudes that? Alex Gross says, Snot Rocket horizontal contest now. Phaeton, unfortunately, this is a modern-day dumpster fire.
Oh my God, he's a genius. I don't know how I figured that one out.
Roy,
Fighting now. Wait.
What?
You know that alcohol means, I think in Arabic or something, body-eating spirit. You know, and you know what spirit that could have eaten Godless girl's spirit? That's a devil. You know, a demon could be. You know, so that's why it's not maybe good to be hammered that much, because your spirit is getting eaten by a fucking demon. Anyways, now we can.
right.
Yeah, Godless Girl was the answer to his question, by the way. Godless Girl tonight was literally the answer to his question. So please, yeah, proceed.
thanks so much for that. Royce the Gaull says, it's amazing. GG makes Smokey seem rational.
I'll take it.
Experiments in prebiotic chemistry, says TJump. How do we distinguish what is real versus what is imaginary? Exactly. Also, can anybody explain the mechanism of how the supernatural operates?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You say we can come up with infinitely many imaginary things to explain anything, like what caused that cup to fall over. To show which one is actually real, you make novel testable predictions. You say, if my hypothesis is true, then I should be able to predict something we don't know yet, and we'll be able to test it. And if I can find that that prediction is correct, then that is good evidence to show that that hypothesis is real and not imaginary.
It sounds like you're a Google translator. You know, reading off Google and Wikipedia. You know, that's what you sound like, TJump. You know,
Thank
an
you.
advanced Google Translate.
TJump might actually be a high-performance AI. He might just be a machine. We don't know.
Yeah, who knows from the future?
This might
or
be
the
an
past.
image. This might be an illusion. He might be Elon Musk's latest prototype.
It's a hologram created by the chair.
There you go.
All right, thanks so much for that. Matt Powell's gay pet Pterodactyl says, is music analyst Matt Powell and Smokey's love child?
Yeah, he hates me, but that's okay.
All right, thanks so much. Experiments in prebiotic chemistry. Nope, we already went over that one. Decepticons Forever for 2CA says, I think it's Canadian, says, a beautiful train wreck this was. Decepticons Forever again says, this is a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Listen, stupidity cannot detect intelligence, but intelligence can detect stupidity. That's all I'm gonna say.
Gabriel K says, oh my God, what have I missed? Alex Gross, $5.
Best thing on the internet in years is what you've missed.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that, actually. Alex Gross, $5 says, Tom, defend your position on the validity of chaos magic.
I mean, clearly chaos magic is real because he said, like, I use those all the magic words, right? So the magic words are clearly evidence that chaos magic is real.
Wizard.
I'm a wizard. I am a
You're a
wizard.
wizard.
Imagine it's real because Tom is a wizard.
Wizard or a lizard? I don't know. But I think wizard.
Speaking of
It's a
wizard,
valid argument. It's a valid argument.
speaking of wizard, our next super chat for $5 from Royce DeGaulle says, Tom didn't talk enough. Can you give us some more fancy wizard words?
Ontology, epistemology, metaphysics, methodology, deoxyribonucleic acid, antidistillatarianism.
Ontology, hermeneutics.
All right, thanks so much for that.
Phenomenology.
Our next question is from Bishop Martin. Says, TJ, would you kill a very mean spider if necessary?
I kill spiders just because they're too close to me, so it wouldn't have to be mean.
Awesome.
Don't do that. Don't do that, dude. Take a glass.
Do you have arachnophobia?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, I must have missed it there.
All right, thanks so much. Religion is bullshit says. Oh, I don't know if maybe I shouldn't have read that out loud, but
You can call him Rib. He likes Rib. That's kind of what he goes by for short.
All right, Rib. More of a slight correction, really. Smokey, you said she baked as the expert. Being Irish, she just extremely drunk.
Oh God, you are underestimating her.
Maybe.
I just checked to see if Gigi was back. Unfortunately, not. Gabriel K. $5 says
Yeah, she passed out.
says, "Can an omnipotent being create a rock he can't lift? Don't give me the his nature crap."
Well, that his nature crap, but that is the answer, sir. It's a violation. It's a contradiction of his nature to demand to do so, because it's basically like him making something that is more powerful than himself, as opposed to lowering himself. So there's two ways to answer the question on two different dynamic spectrums. If you want to unpack it a little more in depth, you can come into one of my live shows. I'm happy to do so.
Yeah, do that.
Hey, listen, and you might say this isn't the most rigorous intellectual discussion that we've had on here, but you can say, hey, this is probably by far one of the most entertaining discussions we've had. So we'll, yeah. All right, so our next question is from...
If you guys ever had a debate with a chance to go viral based upon entertainment value, I think this might be it.
Yeah,
And
we have
think
about
how
500 people watching.
Wait. And think how me and Smokey been treated. Like, nothing. Like, we're not even in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
A few more slurs than I was expecting to hear, oddly enough.
Well, all right, let's briefly go through these. We're going to go through them fast. If you want to say something, you can. But, all right, Tioga says, if only TJump whispered wizard words into my ear. You've got a fan. Next is from TJump.
You can do that, yes.
Actually, next is from Tom Jump's chair for $5. Thanks, Tom Jump, for your chair. It says, thanks to Gigi, MA, and Smokey, but special thanks to TJump for bringing class to this thing. Still no God, though.
Ooh, intellectual elitists.
I don't know what I did wrong.
Listen, wrong. What is right and wrong? Just
Ribs.
because you throw...
Sorry.
I'll continue. Fuck it. No, fuck it.
Rib says being 100% serious is Gigi legit asleep. JMD Apologetics 101, thanks so much. He says, don't miss the after show. Let wisdom, integrity, and reason guide everyone's thinking. And so...
Yes, JMD has an after show.
JMD will have an after show, yep. So you guys can check that out if you want more. Sunflower says, when Gigi shows up at the gas station, she slaps exact change on the counter with her long-ass nails and then curses out the cashier. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I'd say fact. Like, hurry up, a-hole. I have to get back to this debate I'm doing right now.
All right, we've only got a couple more questions, so I was just checking to see if she's back or not. Nope. So I'm going to just read these last few. Nightmare says, good job, Smokey.
Appreciate it, Nightmare. Thank you.
Padame the cat, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, set for $6.66 says, can you tell Smokey that Padme the cat says his giggling is annoying, and can you call him a brainwashed cuckle? No, I can't say that. For me, thanks. Thank you. Much love. Actually, I think between Smokey and Music Analyst, the two most infectious laughs on YouTube. So
I get that a lot on my channel. People tell, I mean, I know the atheists are going to hate me no matter what, and they're going to find something to pick at because they're just low red gutter trash most of the time. But there's a lot of people on my channel and in my audience that actually do enjoy it. And plus, it's the only laugh I got, so what can I do?
all right, guys, we got
What's bad about it?
yeah.
What's bad about that? Infectious laugh.
Well, it sounds kind of bigoted to basically be prejudiced against someone because of the laugh. Isn't that kind of something that shouldn't be in the atheist spectrum of empathetic morality? Shame on you.
All right, we got like 5 more questions, and so we're wrapping it up here. Gabriel K says, I just love how this deep philosophy doesn't impact reality. Meanwhile, science improved life day by day. Somewhere in India, I can drink this water. Or can I drink this water?
Improve life. Look at the fuck how society is today. This is what happens without a God. This is what happens. We're facing total enslavement because people don't believe in God. If you believe in God, you would not allow enslavement of humanity to happen, but it's happening. It's close. And that's because there is no God in people, There is no God in people.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you for that.
personal lives can't necessarily be improved by science. That has to do with culture and beliefs and personal accountability and character. Go ahead. Sorry.
Alex Girl says, "My little frog Robbie passed today. Love you guys."
For shame. So sorry.
Tiago says, "Don't kill spiders, Wizard Tom."
It's my party. I'll kill spiders if I want to.
Dude.
All right.
Dude,
Alex
take her
Gross
Yes.
says, "Smokey, tell us your worst childhood nightmare." I don't know if you want to answer that or not.
Boy. Well, it'd be hard to like think of it right on the spot, honestly.
All right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd have to think about it. Sorry. Yeah,
All
I couldn't
right.
come up with it on the spot.
So that's fine.
I think it was mine. Mine was just this debate. This debate was probably.
Nightmare jump.
You know what? You were a champ for showing up, TJump. You really were. Seriously.
Nice. So all right. So praise I am that I am says, question for TJ and GG. Why would anyone adopt your standard of evidence if your standard is arbitrary? Doesn't it make your opinions irrelevant?
Yeah, that's why it's not arbitrary, unlike the theistic worldview, which is. All right, can we go now?
Yep.
I think that's arbitrary.
This is the last question. You have to ask Godless Girl what. Okay, so that's for Godless Girl. Since she's not here to answer it, we'll just go ahead and end it. All right. Listen, thanks everybody for coming by and checking this out. If it's your first time, please hit the like button and subscribe. It lets us know you like these types of debates. So we track that kind of thing. And I want to thank TJump, Godless Girl, Music Analyst, and Smokey for checking this out, being here with us today. Although it was kind of hectic, we got through it. It was very entertaining. And there will be an after show on JMD Apologetics 101 channel. He'll shoot the link into the chat right now. So if you want to go check that out. And all of the links for these people will be in the description. Because I know you're probably thinking, man, I'd love to see more of this guy or that girl. So check out the description and you can see their channels. With that, thanks so much for being here. And as usual, keep sifting the reasonable from the unreasonable.
Yes.